This segment brought to you by Hope Cancer Care of Nevada, offering state-of-the-art cancer treatment in Pahrump. A little hope goes a long way.
Pahrump local Christopher Ream has been arrested again. This is the third time in recent months for burglary-related crimes. Christopher Ream has been arrested for burglary, larceny of a motor vehicle, possession of stolen property, and possession of burglary tools. Deputies were dispatched to Gravel Pit Road on January 2nd in reference to a theft that occurred at American Precision Concert. The reporting party said somewhere between December 29th and January 2nd, someone had broken into a large storage container and office located at their work site on Gravel Pit Road. Items that were missing were office supplies, a cell phone identified as an iPhone, bolts, and a weed burner. A report was taken and there was no leads at that time. On January 8th, a traffic stop was conducted on an individual identified as Christopher Ream. During the stop, the deputy was given consent to search the vehicle. A set of keys was located that said Ford water truck. Ream allegedly told deputies at that time that the keys were his and belonged to his water truck. The deputy was not aware at that time about the stolen water truck. Later that day, the deputy learned that the water truck had been stolen and was returned, but the keys were still missing. Deputies say, based on the facts and circumstances related to this burglary, Mr. Ream was in possession of the keys, which were secured at a business belonging to a vehicle that was stolen during a burglary on Gravel Pit Road. Mr. Ream was also in possession of what police are calling burglary tools. Christopher Ream was located and arrested and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Nye County Sheriff's deputies worked a three-vehicle crash today on Homestead Road. A three-vehicle accident occurred this morning on Homestead and Mans Road. One vehicle is said to have left the scene. It's identified as a red compact car. If you have any information about this vehicle, you can contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000. The other two vehicles remained on scene, one being a pickup truck with a trailer. The other on scene was an SUV. No one claimed any injuries at the time of the accident. Nye County Sheriff's deputies diverted traffic around the collision while the investigation was conducted. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. And Angela Miles tells us why it's good to be king of Amazon.
Topping our news, Amazon CEO is now the richest person ever. On Tuesday, Amazon shares shot above $1,250, bringing Jeff Bezos' fortune to $105 billion, according to Bloomberg. The previous richest man was Microsoft founder Bill Gates, with a net worth of $93 billion. Not so shabby, but one of the reasons why Gates is now coming in second is because of the large amount of money he gives to charity. Eastman Kodak has been around for 130 years and is getting hip to the cryptocurrency craze. The company has used blockchain to create a new platform for its own digital currency. It's similar to Bitcoin, but will be called Kodak Coin. Kodak shares snapped a more than 90% gain on Tuesday. The initial Kodak Coin offering is planned for investors January 31st.
Thanks, Angela. In today's Home Matters, Mike and Cindy talk about water testing.
Home Matters is brought to you by Trish Rippey Realty, 775-727-4343.
Hi folks, this is Mike Colucci, and this is your Pahrump Home Matters real estate segment. For the past couple of weeks, we've showcased a couple of beautiful properties here in Pahrump, but we're going to take a turn today. My guest today is Cindy, the owner and operator of High Desert Water Systems.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. What we're going to discuss today is the relationship between laboratory water testing and home mortgages. So what can you tell us about that, Cindy?
Well, in the last couple of years, there's been some changes to the rules for FHA, VA, and even some conventional mortgages. And those rules are that they have to have a water quality test done on their private well, on their property, and it has to come out clean before they will close escrow for the property.
Okay, so this is only relating to private wells. It has nothing to do with municipal water supplies. You don't need a test for a municipal water supply if you're purchasing a property, correct?
That's correct. And it's best if you get the water test done early on your private well in the process of the mortgage, so that you're not holding up the mortgage escrow closing because of a water quality test not being arrived, or that there's a problem with the water and it has to be cured and retested before you can close escrow.
Now, what kind of things do you test for?
We test for the bacteria panel, which would be E. coli and coliforms, and we also test for nitrates and total dissolved solids, otherwise known as TDS.
Now, what makes High Desert Water Systems the place to call for this type of a lab test?
Well, the reason that you would want to call High Desert Water Systems is because we sell, service, and install water treatment equipment that can cure the problem as we find the answers to your water test results.
So, Cindy, would you recommend having a lab test even if you're not procuring a mortgage?
Oh, I definitely recommend having a water quality test on your private well, even if you're not having a mortgage done and it's not required for that. The reason is because as consumers of water, we'd like to know what we're drinking, what we're bathing in, and if it's going to have any long-term effects on our health or the health of our home. So yes, I recommend that you have a water quality test done if you have a private well.
So if somebody is interested in getting a water quality test, how do they reach you?
The best way to reach us is by phone, and you can contact me, Cindy, at High Desert Water Systems at 775-727-3010.
And that is your Pahrump Home Matters Real Estate segment today. If you have any other real estate related questions, please call me, Mike Colucci, at 775-764-8211.
The Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas suffered a power outage today. The majority of the Las Vegas Convention Center's power was out in the middle of the largest show of this type in the country. Technology companies from all over the world get together for this annual week-long event that is heavily dependent on electricity. Without power, most of the companies were unable to show off their products. The reason for the outage was unknown and lasted about 2 hours. More of News 46 right after this break.